Okay, so there are lots of issues out there: gun control, DACA, climate change, racism, sexism, just to name a few. And as humans, it's very easy for us to react. So how do you choose what to weigh in on, and what's your process for thinking that through?
This is a challenging question because there's not really a set process. It's about getting people together that have diverse perspectives that can weigh in on an incident to have a discussion about what we should be communicating. So I think, my starting point has always been trying to come up with a way to be the voice that brings people together. There's plenty to be outraged about, but just more rage is not helpful. So I look for, how do we communicate action? How do we bring people together? And in the last 18 months, with so much that's happened, we've been talking a lot at our company about love. And to me, that's something that I think I try to lean into more. And I sent a first email out about love. And it was a challenge because I didn't know how people would receive it. But I think there's just too little of it in the world. And if we can inject that at work and make people comfortable at work, it makes for a better life.
How was it received?
What's that?
How was it received?
I think it was overwhelmingly well received.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a few people that were uncomfortable. Any diverse population, you might see that. But I think people wanted to find a place or a haven where they could be okay and they could be secure and know that they are loved. And that makes them better.
Yeah.
So when we think about doing great things in the marketplace, whatever kind of business we are, if people feel a sense of strength, if they feel like they have a sense of calm, they perform better. And they can do great things. So the focus is not on being another mouthpiece, but on sharing action and making sure that we're caring for those that we have in our family.
Okay. Either of the two of you want to?
Yeah, I think I'll add to that. That makes sense. It's not a set process. There are certain things that there are set processes for, like natural disasters. We're in the travel business, and a hurricane hits Florida, so we show up, or our president's going to Singapore. We worry about both our customers and people there, and there's something we can do about it, right? We can help people in Florida get away from the hurricane, so we work with the government of Florida. We can staff up call center agents because when the meeting happens in Singapore, a lot of people are going to be displaced and traffic's going to be bad, and we can help people do that, and our purpose is around helping people go places. But I think when something comes out that there isn't a set process for, then really, I agree with what he said. The only thing I would add is that the view I try to bring in, is there something we can add to the conversation? And is it authentic to us? And whether it's authentic to us professionally or personally, I think is a different decision. But if it doesn't meet that bar, then it's probably not something we want to comment on because we're not really qualified to do so and don't want to be another voice for no reason.
Another one, yeah.
I think some themes that were just mentioned, but I look at it from the lens of kind of three different angles. One is the issue substantive? Is it just, hatred-filled, rambling, or is it actually founded in some sort of substantive issue? I think the second thing is it good for business and customers, like in the immediate ecosystem, where we live? And the third is, and not just live physically, but where we live as a company, including employees, everybody else involved. And I think the third is, can we have a unique approach to it? So one example where we applied that this week, and we apply it pretty frequently, is there was it hasn't gotten as much press, but there's a volcano that's going off in Guatemala that is really tragic. It's displaced 1.7 million people. And we do have a pretty planned response for natural disasters because remittances are so important in that instance. And we give free transactions, we donate to the Red Cross, and then the team sends an email from my email address to every customer that sends to that geography. And it is amazing, the responses. I mean, we got 75 responses in the first hour when we sent the email. And it means so much to customers. And that, if I look at it from those three angles, is so in our wheelhouse in terms of being able to help. There's also just immigration right now is an issue that we're very involved in. So I think it is important to pick the areas where for us we can make the most, where it's substantive, where we have a unique ability to make an influence, and those criteria.